Coming up on this episode of the Mario Rosenstock Podcast.
One guy, was he saying, you should put Viagra in my mouth and then you should put a line on my penis. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like a catheter? Or like, he's going, no, line of cocaine. I'm going, oh, geez, I've never done that.
Right.
And then he's going, and then we all do poppers. And I'm going, sorry, dude, I'm not qualified in CPR because it's a heart attack. You'll be having not an orgasm.
So what's it like getting back on the dating scene in your late 40s after years of marriage and zero experience of the online dating world? Sounds like Bridget Jones, doesn't it? Well, Norma Sheahan knows all about it and she reveals all on this episode. Norma is an actor and comedian. She's been on loads of stuff that you'll know, like Bridget and Eamon, The Clinic, Moone Boy, and more recently in Kneecap. She was also a regular guest on my Today FM radio show, The Sunday Roast, and I used to love having Norma on for her frank, funny, honest views, and doesn't really have one of those annoying filters that can get in the way of a great story. And as you can imagine, after a few months on Tinder, Norma has a lot of great stories, some of which she's about to share. We also talk about divorcing amicably, the perils of modern parenting, her memories of the late great Jon Kenny, and why she isn't getting botox, and tons more.
My view of Tinder was it was for slags and sluts and I would never go on it, and I'm a lady and I'm above that.
Ah, but that's not true though.
That's not true. No. But that was me. I was so prudish.
Sure, I understand.
I'm from that generation. I went in looking for face work. And I was actually asked, did you have a forceps delivery? And I'm going, I don't remember. And then they were going, did you have a little bit of Bell's palsy?
Okay.
Didn't know what the fuck that was. Did you have a stroke was the last one.
Jesus, no.
So it's not coming from a great place.
Does that mean just going around the place with an erection?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm doing a driving test, or it's because I'm trying to learn to drive at the moment, and I just don't need an erection when he's teaching me.
No, because there's you only need the one gear stick, really, don't you?
All that and more in just a few minutes' time. And just to mention that Norma is currently on a nationwide tour called It's Wine O'Clock, and I would highly recommend you go along if you can. She'll be in the Gaiety in Dublin on May 11th and loads of other places around the country between now and then. And also, if you want to see me, my tour begins February 28th. That's probably the day that this podcast comes out. It's in Cork. It's sold out. Saturday, March 1st in Cork. Then next week in Waterford. And I'm in Castlebar, INEC, Killarney. Please come along and see me. It's sold out in the 3 Arena as well. And I have 3 new dates, 16th, 17th, 18th of October in the Gaiety Theatre, Dublin. So please come along, see me in this brand new show celebrating 25 years of Gift Grub on the radio. Now, because a lot of this episode is about online dating, we've had quite a few well-known people leaving messages on the Mario Rosenstock podcast hotline, sharing their stories and opinions about it. Hi, you've reached the Mario Rosenstock podcast. Please leave a message.
Well, Mario, it's Ivan Yates here. Listen, did you know that I actually first met Matt Cooper on Tinder? Or was it Grindr?
Oh, Ivan, it was on LinkedIn, for God's sake.
Matt, do you not remember?
No.
You sent me a saucy photo of yourself. It was a mic pic.
No, it was a mic pic.
A mic in your mouth. And Matt you sent one back when you had the mullet wearing a Munster jersey and nothing else. Oh,
Ivan,
the rest is history.
You weren't supposed to tell them that.
How's it going? This is Roy Keane here. All credit to Norma Sheahan. She's from Cork. Fair play to her out there on the dating scene. But Tinder? Why Tinder? I don't get it. Online dating is for wimps. What are you doing messing around, swiping left and right? Left and right. Get on with it. Get out there. Get out onto the field. Talk to them face to face. Get the job done.
Oh, Mario, this is Arthur Gourounlian from Dancing with the Stars. Oh, I hate Tinder. It's all about getting into the room with your future lover, pressing up against them, smelling the pheromones, moving your hips and dancing like it's your very last night on Earth. Yeah, Tinder just scores a 1 from me.
Yeah, hi Mario, it's Brendan O'Connor here from RT. Listen, if anyone has had a miserable experience with online dating, can you contact the production team here, please? We'd love to talk to you. Make a nice Sunday, weekend morning of total depression. Needs to have been a really awful experience, like soul crushing, like, heartbroken, ghosting, into pieces stuff, really, thanks.
and more exclusive comedy every week on the Mario Rosenstock Podcast. And you can get in touch with me personally, mariorosenstock@gmail.com. I read them all and I get back to most of them. But we are here because we have a fantastic new sponsor. We are delighted to welcome Deluxe Bathrooms as the new sponsor of the Mario Rosenstock Podcast. Deluxe Bathrooms is Ireland's leading premium bathroom and tile retailer. And if you're dreaming of a bathroom that combines luxury, functionality and style, they have you covered. And at a great price too, because the Love Your Bathroom sale is now on. It's actually coming to an end on March 2nd, so get in there to avail and save up to 70% store-wide on Europe's biggest brands. There's freestanding baths from €699, shower screens from €199, vanities from €135, toilets from €149. The list goes on and on. Check it out. Prices have been slashed on all of the premium products that you'll need to create the bathroom of your dreams. Check out the Love Your Bathroom sale in store at Dundalk Retail Park and Little Island in Cork, or online at deluxebathrooms.ie, who are our fantastic new sponsor, and they're such enthusiastic people and we love having them on board. The sale is now on and must end on March 2nd, and who doesn't want to have a swanky bathroom? Okay, let's get straight across to my special guest on this episode, comedian and actress Norma Sheahan. We've met loads of times over the last few years, but one of the most recent involved me being interviewed by her in her car, of all places. It was during COVID.
So, Norma, we were just talking a minute ago, and you brought a memory back to me that I got into a car with you outside the Gables in Foxrock, and was it during COVID?
Yeah.
To do a podcast in your car.
I did. Sure, I was doing them in my boot. You're lucky I didn't throw you in the boot. You got the front seat.
Yeah.
You're a celebrity.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I did 76 episodes to survive COVID.
What was it called again?
Heal Your Hole. Well, I had done a couple of venues. I'd sold out a couple of venues.
Yeah.
People were mad to get their holes healed. And it was Heal Your Actual, HOLE. So it was all about the holes in the body and your life.
This was your first kind of stand-up show.
First stand-up show. Everything got pulled. And I said, you know what? There's great sound in that boot. I was recording ads in my boot, and I said I'd turn it into a podcast.
Yeah, that's right. So we got a good acoustic in the car.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do you ever do that if you're at home doing an interview? Would you ever go into the car instead of the house?
I haven't bothered. No, there's a decent enough acoustic in the room I have. But
right.
So that was your first show, and your new show is called It's Wine O'Clock.
It's Wine O'Clock.
Okay,
Norma Sheahan.
and it's just you on stage.
Just me, nearly 2 hours with an interval.
Because we're used to seeing you in. My wife loved you in the clinic. She keeps on. She still remembers you in the clinic.
Those were the days.
I don't remember you in the clinic. She
So
said she adored you in the clinic. She thought you were so funny in the clinic.
I was a psycho. I was a receptionist with Amy.
Yeah.
But I was a baddie and she was a goodie.
Yeah, and I love you in nearly everything you do because you're so funny, and it's a difficult job you have because in some of the roles you play, you're basically kind of, some of them are an enlarged cameo, and basically it's come in and like you just have to be hilarious, and you always are.
But even in Kneecap recently, I have this tiny part as this interrogator, and like blink and you'll miss me, but again I have to come in intensely and hammer them. Same in The Dry, I had to come in and annihilate the lead actress in 3 minutes.
Now I was rooting for you in Kneecap because I really enjoyed the film.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's doing
really
so
cool
well.
film. Really such easy to watch. It's so fun.
Yeah, fuck a look.
Yeah, but just a lot of colour and movement, Tarantino-esque.
Totally, and they don't apologise for anything. They get their bits out and get everything out.
And then, as well as that, climbing into your car, you were a regular on my, reasonably regular on my Sunday morning show.
Yeah, that was great. You were very good to me. Sure, I love radio. I have a face for radio. It's great.
No, you don't. You have a beautiful face. And you were on my panel, and you used to, you had very, very funny sort of angles on things coming from. But a lot has happened to you since then, Norma.
A lot has happened, Bob.
Talk to me. Talk to our listeners.
So COVID happened and did the old podcast for a bit, got sick of that. And then I did Shirley Valentine, which was a tour that toured the country. And to be fair, Shirley Valentine got into me veins a bit, about stop talking to the wall, get out there, question if your relationship isn't great. And to be fair, myself and Scott, we found it tricky during COVID. Scott is my ex-husband.
Okay. Yeah.
So we were married during COVID, and we just made a decision a year and a half ago. Enough is enough. We're not good for each other. We just reached our best before date, I'd be honest with you. And the 3 teenagers were not surprised.
Now, before we go any further with this, I want to assure our listeners that the reason you're able to talk about this is because it was an amicable breakup.
Totally. Obviously, I mean, at one point I was 2 steps ahead of him, and then a couple of months later he's 2 steps ahead of me.
What does that mean?
Oh, well, I was the driving force, and then a couple of months later he's going, oh my God, this is a fantastic idea. Like this is so right.
Okay.
But we're getting on better than ever because when you have teenagers, you have to be like Cagney and Lacey to keep on top of it. You know what I mean? And make sure they're not making a fool of you. So, yeah, we're grand now. And we had the quickest divorce in history. It's gas, right? So once we got on page, we had nothing to fight over. You know, these people would be fighting over a carrot in the fridge or whatever. We just got on with it. We'd 5 months from serving to finishing. And we were in court a year ago on our anniversary in the exact hour we got married. And the judge thought I was pulling the mick. I'm like, no, this is our anniversary. We're 22 years married today to the exact hour. And yeah, so it's all amicable and we're doing really well. And it's all about the kids, like, really. We've had our time, you know?
A kind of a Pat Kenny question here.
Go on.
Does it cost a lot to get divorced? Is there money?
I would say it costs a lot if you're very rich or if you're very, very poor, because you're fighting over millions or you're scrabbling over pennies. We're kind of in that middle where we're okay, we can breathe. But to be fair, like, we still have nothing to be getting angry over. And coincidentally, we'd sold our house just before the divorce. So we were renting in this period where we were thinking, oh, we need to upsize. So we'll sell, we'll rent and we'll look. So there wasn't even a house to fight over. You know, I'm an actor, he's in IT and stuff like that. It was just divide it all. The only thing we were like, how do we divide up the kids? We've identical twins. You know, I said they're identical. You take your pick. No, we didn't. So we're great with the kids again. It's 50-50. It's a month on, a month off, month on, month off. And we're living around the corner from each other.
Oh, that's good.
Totally. Yeah. We're both living around the corner from the school. So anyway.
And then I pick up the Sunday Independent and I'm reading last week. I read the Sunday Independent and there you are. And I was like, oh, it's Norma. And I see this story. Yeah. And then one of the things that came out of it was the sort of honesty and brutal honesty of you going, and I'm on Tinder and I love it.
Well, look at, I mean, I tell you, he didn't stall the balls in getting out there. So I decided not to stall my boobs either. So to be fair, it was my GP encouraged me to get out there and my sister. Yeah.
The GP says, have you tried this?
Totally. She was like,
the paracetamol, is it, doctor? No, Tinder. I'll prescribe you.
Literally. She was. Because she was going, there's people come in here, the tide wouldn't take them out and they managed to find someone. And she said, I was trying to explain then the last time I dated was the 90s. So I'm a bit dyslexic. I wouldn't know how to, I'm not great with technology. But my sister got me on the apps.
Your sister got you into it?
Oh yeah, she's 9 years younger.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So she knows it?
Totally. She gave me a tutorial. Now it's tricky for her because she's...
Well, then you might as well give me a tutorial now, as in, because I know nothing about it, because the last time I dated was in the 90s as well.
Okay, well, you know, swipe right, I'm interested in you. Swipe left, I'm not interested in you. Yeah. If the person on the other side has already swiped you right, it comes up as bing, match.
You're a match, yeah.
And then you have a certain amount of time to reach out to them or to go...
If you're a match, are you both...
it means you've both swiped right.
But are you both informed that you're a match?
Yes, yeah. But you can unmatch immediately if you go, God, what was I thinking?
You might have about 5 or 10 matches. You could have 15 matches.
You could have 500 matches. You see, some lazy men, this is what they do. They go, they don't even look at the women. They go, right. They just... And then they check their matches later.
Ah, okay.
And then they go, oh, delete. And they hang on to 20 that are half.
I get you, yeah.
But the thing is, my sister taught me that any fella out there is texting 5 people at the one time. So don't be thinking you're sacred and holy as thou like they were back in the day. It's grand for me. I was looking for a bit of entertainment, but they would be texting 5 other people. And she was
How did you feel about it, Norma?
I was looking for a bit of crack, so it's grand.
And when you say a bit of crack, what does that mean?
Well, I'd been in a marriage for 22 years. So I needed to get out there and meet people. Sure, I'd be more interested in talking to them than doing anything with them. And
that's what I want to establish. I mean, were you more interested in just meeting a new person on a possible semi-romantic level, having a few laughs, a bit of fun?
Totally.
A few drinks?
Totally.
And did you get that?
Totally got that.
You got that?
So I finished a play in the Gaiety last February or March, and it was miserable. Sive did very well. Me and Fionnuala Flanagan and a few others did very well, but it was so dark, Keane, and a bit of comedy. But after that, I took a week off, locked myself in the room, and I went swiping and coffeeing and cocktailing and carvering and whatever way of meeting people. But most of them you never got to meet because the stuff they'd text you would be so barking that you'd have to block them.
So you don't even meet them.
Don't even meet them. No,
So
I'm
give
not.
me an example of what tone of text you're talking about here.
So as my sister
You've
said,
matched with somebody.
yeah, down the country, she'd have to put a 50-mile radius because of the cousins, you know what I mean? And, there'd be a small population. Whereas in Dublin, you don't have to put a 10-mile radius.
Yeah.
And because, as she said, you could go around the world in 80 lays within your proximity in Dublin. But like one guy, was he saying, you should put this is my really good foreign accent, so nobody knows where he's from. You should put Viagra in my mouth, and then you should put a line on my penis. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like a catheter? Or like, he's going, no, line of cocaine. I'm going, oh, geez, I've never done that.
Right.
And then he's going, and then we all do poppers. And I'm going, I said, sorry, dude, I'm not qualified in CPR because it's a heart attack you'll be having, not an orgasm. So, some of them you're just like, won't be meeting that.
Right.
Or another fella picks you up, you open the car. Oh, it's actually a Range Rover. I was like, I'm sorted, I've arrived. And he had a strimmer and a chainsaw and a can of petrol in the back. The smell of petrol, and I love the smell of petrol, but you couldn't risk it on the first date.
No.
No, and he wasn't even a gardener, he was in IT. So I was just like, okay, sorry, dude.
Okay, so that was...
Yeah, there's a few of them. And then there's other ones you meet, and they're so pleasant and beautiful.
So you meet some lovely people.
Went to this gorgeous Italian restaurant, and he's having, I'm having all the tiramisu and the bruschetta and Prosecco and coffees, and he had peppermint tea. And I'm going, what, is there something wrong with food? Like, why did you bring me here? And he's like, I am no carbs, no sugar, no caffeine, no alcohol. I was like,
No crack.
Well, you're no crack and no sex. I'm out of here. Bye.
Yeah.
Like, mad boring men out there too.
Yeah.
They're all on the trying to tone up and have. So there's load of boring fellas, load of crazy fellas, but there's some lovely characters. Lovely characters.
And I mean, the cliche you read, and I have to come from the cliche part because I know nothing. So the cliche you would read is that the majority of men are interested in sex. But what I'm hearing from you is maybe that's not exactly true. Or is that true?
Yeah, I don't know. You see, it depends on the age because when you go over a particular age, I'm not sure if men can perform the way they used to back in the day. So
as in erectile dysfunction.
Well, erectile, I suppose, yeah. And
why? What's happening? Is it the diet? Is it?
It's only a new thing that I'm realising. Like
reduced
back in the day,
testosterone?
so the lads are like rabbits back when you're younger, and the women are just trying to get the lads to finish up and get it over with.
Yeah.
But later in life, the men are all about pleasing the woman because they've kind of realised they can't perform again and again and again anymore because they can't get the blood to the Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So now, if they keep up the running or they keep up the other stuff, they can get the blood there apparently. But
not while they're doing it now.
Keep up the running while we're doing it. I'll try that if you want me to do it on a treadmill. I'll give it a go.
I want to run and have sex on treadmill.
Listen. That I can tell you, I haven't had that yet. But if you stay, oh, by the way, like I'm off the apps now a couple of months. I took a break because they're mad. Like you do a full time job now.
Where are you gone? I was on app yesterday. You were not there for your usual shift.
Shift.
What happened, Norma?
Shift.
You are a 9-to-5er here.
We used to call it shift back in the day.
Yeah, I know we did. Yeah.
So before I went on the app, I tried approaching people, going, "Hello, how are you? You're a flat. You want the shift?" And like, you get arrested. You can't say anything to anyone anymore.
I suppose there's less chatting up when it comes to Tinder because that beautiful thing that we used to experience in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, when you'd go to a bar, if you like, and that kind of uncertain crossing of the line from making normal conversation into hitting on somebody, which was just such a sort of different vibe.
Was great.
Isn't it?
And it was the slow set in the disco. Remember the slow set?
Of course.
First time, first love.
That's it.
Oh, what feel. Whereas my kids were at Longitude. Oh, they'll kill me if I say this. But the young lads now have to be so careful. There was... I won't go into too much detail now because I'll embarrass my daughter, but say there was some guy trying to snog a girl on the Saturday and it didn't happen. And because this lad was told, and you have a lad this age, by the way, so you need to have the chat with him if you haven't. He said, I'm not allowed to kiss a girl if she's got drink in her. Because there's so many accusations being made against boys now. They know not to move, not to do something if it feels like she's had more than 2 or 3 drinks. Not that my daughter had more than 2 or 3 drinks. I can understand that. But back in the day, I mean, Jesus, was a fucking free for all.
I can understand why they're so cognizant of it now.
God, I feel so because people were going, God, you have 3 daughters, you must have to be careful. I'd be going, I'd be slightly more nervous at the moment if I had a son because it's It's not easy for them. It's really hard for them. Obviously, there's lunatics out there doing the wrong thing. We won't say any names. And they're on mad drugs and they've way too much confidence and all the rest of it. But there's innocent guys there and they're afraid to make a move.
So go on, yeah.
They're like, the old reach around the hand, like they did in Grease Lightning. I mean, you'd be cancelled. You'd have to...
So, just as a matter of interest then, was your view of Tinder, I want to come onto Tinder and have a bit of crack?
My view of Tinder was it was for slags and sluts and I would never go on it and I'm a lady and I'm above that.
Ah, but that's not true though.
That's not true. No. But that was me. I was so prudish.
Sure, I understand.
I'm from that generation.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, I thought the Lord would strike me down if I'd pleasure. I was afraid to get a what do you call them, gadget or a sex toy back in the day. Like everyone has one now. It's true. If a woman has an orgasm, right, her chi is increased and her energy is increased. If a man has an orgasm, their chi is decreased and they're good for nothing, right? And that's where the imbalance is. Poor, they're wasted after it. So, but for years, I thought, like, someone gifted me one. I left it under the bed for 2 years. Honestly, I thought I'd have to go to penance, go to confession. Anyway, there's a big section in my show about that one, about the day I took it out from under the bed and jackhammered the bejesus out of myself.
Jesus Christ, Norma. So come here now, and because Norma is quite Norma is quite a prudish name.
Oh, jeez.
Like if I was writing an Irish book about a prudish group of girls, I'd probably call one of them Norma.
Norma. It doesn't. It's
but
not...
were you a prude, and have you been a prude? Did you?
You see, I suppose I'm from the generation, get 3 drinks into you and you're flying it. You think you're beautiful then and you're off, you're good to go.
So you're not. So in other words, but in your sober life,
sober life, yeah. But I would have been fair. Like, I never 2-timed anyone in my life. So this thing on Tinder that they're texting 5 other people, it's like...
That you wouldn't have occurred to you, yeah.
Well, I just thought, it's one of the 10 Commandments, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thou shalt not covet something else if you're coveting another thing, isn't it?
I know. Thou shalt not jackhammer yourself to death.
Apparently that's fine.
And did you meet anybody?
I'm.
Or have you met loads?
We'll say I'm single at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm very single at the moment.
Okay, put it like this. From your experience, is it possible that you could?
You could, yeah. I think you could.
What about when they...
I would say very hard if you're looking, so I won't name who I'm thinking of right now, but I know people in their late 30s looking to settle down and have kids, and they are having to either get a sperm donor or they're having to get a guy 10 years older because it's tricky finding a guy to come off the apps. Now they can, but the guys tend to be not sure yet. I'm not sure yet till they're 50. No, they're living with
that's a bit
men.
late.
Well, it is a bit late because as a woman you're called a geriatric mother at 35 when you're in the hospital. And the man's not sure yet at 50. Good luck to you, boy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's a bit of an imbalance in the sexes, but.
And what about the idea that, like, I mean, I've seen you in so many things, and they get to know what you do for a living. How does that affect the meeting? So you're an actress, you're on TV. You're on TV a lot. You're a radio, your voice is on the radio all the time.
Well, I'm the voice of Lidl, so I'm in your head for the last few years.
And you're in the theatre all the time.
I'm in the theatre, I love the stage.
So what do they think of that one?
What does who think of that?
People you meet on Tinder.
Oh, sure, they don't have a clue. They don't care. It takes them ages to realise.
Doesn't even register.
Doesn't register.
You're just...
Doesn't register. No.
You were just... swiping right.
Swiping right.
Okay.
Now at the moment I haven't a hope, right? Because the blurb of the show is called My Tinder Sex-capades. 50 is the new 30, my midlife climax, all that kind of thing, right? And my kid's getting me out there. So, like, I'll really have to go and find a fella in another country at the moment.
Right.
I'm untouchable at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
For the next few months anyway, till the tour is over.
Radioactive.
I'm literally radioactive at the moment.
Tell us about the age profile. The two things I'm interested in are, one, the other cliche I've always heard is man with his nice black beard and his full head of black hair, and he's pictured beside a golden retriever, and then you meet him and he's like, different.
Oh, that they're different when you meet them. I haven't had any big liars.
Okay.
Nope.
And what about age groups?
Age groups, I got that all wrong at the start. That was a disaster because I didn't put any limit on.
Go on.
And my main influx was kind of 18 to 22-year-olds.
Were they?
Yes.
And that was deliberate?
No. Not from my side. I was like...
No, from their side.
From their side.
So in other words, they were looking for a slightly more mature...
So I was up at whatever I was at the time, I'm 48 now. They were looking for someone who's not going to get pregnant, who's got her limbs intact, and looks like a bit of crack. That's what they were looking for.
Is that real?
All I can think of that they're looking for. Or else they're just into a bit of stewing beef. I don't know, whatever. But
Could I be maybe they were looking for somebody who they might have thought maybe more experienced in sexual matters.
Maybe just something on, I don't know, but there was a lot. And I obviously, I have never met anyone outside of about 10 years of my age bracket.
Apart from the age.
Then you can put a strict block on your age.
Hang on, when you did meet anybody who was 18 to 20.
I didn't meet them. Are you mad?
Oh, sorry, you didn't meet them. Okay.
No, I didn't meet.
Okay.
But I was wondering why all that was coming up on my feed was these young fellas. and which means so then I swiped right.
Fucking love Bridget and Eamon.
And they were matched, but they'd be in like they'd be in a GA jersey from my nephew's bloody thingy or something, or like,
oh no,
oh god, this was like, get out of here quickly. So I was back onto the system.
Did somebody ever hit swipe that knew your family or knew anybody?
But you're never going to get there. How are you going to get? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, there was a few going. But you see, when your location changes, if you're down the country in Cork, you'll come up in the 5 mile radius down there, and they might go, "Do you remember me from the Dolphin Disco?" Ha ha ha.
Christ.
Oh god, yeah. So you wouldn't want to be on there now looking for affairs. You're going to get caught.
So is it fair to say then that you used the whole Tinder thing to fuel some material for your show then?
That wasn't the initial thought. The initial thought was therapy. Yeah.
Get out there, have a bit of crack.
Yeah, body and...
Did you laugh?
Oh, I had some crack.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, I had some crack.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously immediately hardcore stopped my age bracket down to 10 years within my age, because I've...
10 years?
We'll say 8 years younger and 8 years older.
Okay.
Yeah, or 10 years younger and older. Because I'd no age limit at the start.
Can you make any comment about people who are 40, which is 8 years younger,
yeah,
as opposed to 56, which is 8 years older?
I can. Some of the 40s still don't know what they want yet.
They have that little weak Cork accent
they do
as well, yeah.
But, they'd have a bit more energy than your 54-year-old, depending now. And, of course, some of the 40-year-olds will be a bit spoiled, not sure where they're going in life. 54-year-olds tend to be, they come with their whole separation story, a lot of them. And, but we get that out the way.
Their Vietnam story.
Yeah. And I you have something in common, but then you have to go, can we just let this go now? I'm like...
I don't, just because we have something in common, it's not the kind of thing in common I wanted.
Yeah. I want to hear about your divorce.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I get that.
So any other things, differences between them? I suppose back to what you said earlier, the erectile dysfunction. It's just softer as men get older.
It's harder. Good. Is that in this show?
No, it's not.
Well, that you should.
I'm robbing that. You can have that one for your...
No, you have to do that
Mario
when you show. It's harder now. What I meant is it's softer as you get older.
But as I was in Boots the other day and I was discussing it with the girl behind the counter, and there was this thing behind the counter. I don't know the exact name. You might know it because you might be on it. Silly ass or silly ass or silly ass or something. It's 36 hours keeps you going. And I said, come over here, woman. What? Who wants men to be like going for 36 hours? She goes, no. That's an over-the-counter mild one. If you get the strong Viagra one, you have to prescribe it, and it's 4 hours of intense erection. Yeah. So, to be fair, that's.
Sorry, again, I'm ignorant. Now I'm actually I'm straying into the men's area with you now, which you shouldn't necessarily have. But I'm going to have to ask you about it.
Yep.
You say erectile dysfunction and everything, right? And something like a Viagra and Cilia or whatever you call it, right? When you say that this maintains an erection, does that mean that you are going around the place with an erection?
Yeah. No,
like, what's the point in having an erection if you're not going to use it? Like, if I'm doing a driving test, or it's because I'm trying to learn to drive at the moment, right?
You're trying to learn to drive?
Yeah, with a nice fella called Yash.
I'm teaching the kids. I can give you a lesson. I can give you a few lessons.
And we're into the car again.
Into the car.
And so me and Yash is teaching me how to drive.
Brilliant.
And I just don't need an erection when he's teaching me.
No, because there's you only need the one gear stick, really, don't you?
Quick. Very good. But I'm saying, like, if you have an erection, you need to be wanting to use it.
Do you know what? I don't have a Mickey. You go away, borrow one of the tablets, the blue pills or whatever, off your friend. See how many hours it keeps you up.
Yeah.
Probably different for everyone.
Right.
But I have heard that you can get an erection on it, but you mightn't be turned on at all.
Okay.
So you're just sitting there
that's
going...
kind of what I'm asking.
Aux.
Yeah. Aux. Yes, okay.
No, it's grand for the female, I suppose, because there's There's a thing there for whatever.
You answered
so
my
it's
question.
not ideal.
Yeah,
it's not ideal. But everyone's different.
We've done enough of this. You've been brilliant at it. Can I talk to you about something else?
Go on.
I'm going to veer into a couple of other areas with you, and that was something else that came up.
My depression.
No.
I was going to pretend there to be depressed.
No, I'm not going to go Tommy Tiernan on you on this.
I know.
So did you ever think about killing yourself?
I did, absolutely, when I was 25. But my
Or
sister,
what did he ask somebody-
paid me across the head. I was like, I don't want to be alive. This
but
acting thing isn't working.
the other night, Tommy asked his guest, he asked his guest, so are you okay about dying? Or he said, no, it was worse. He said, would you mind dying?
Would you mind dying?
It's like, and I was kind of going, well, I don't even know how this person.
Okay, I'm going to
answered
pretend
that
you're
question.
Tommy, and I'm ready with an answer. And my mother was given tiny time left to live, and I was helping her in the hospital, and she was falling apart in the bathroom. Everything was just going wrong, and I just said, "Mum, this is just awful to watch." And she just grabbed my hand and she said, "It's not hard to die, Norma, when you know that you've lived."
Yep.
And I've remembered that. And what else do I remember? Working backwards is my other thing. You're going to die. You're going to die. I'm going to die. So let's get shit done, lads.
Mm.
You know,
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah, because we think we're halfway. I'm nearly 50. Think halfway.
Yeah.
She could be gone at 65.
No, not if you get on Instagram, because on Instagram you'll just see a thing coming up. You're 54 years of age. On average, you have 17 years left to live. How are you going to spend it, asshole?
Yeah.
And so, like, basically, Instagram will tell you.
Totally.
Because it picks up your age immediately.
And then it'll tell you can never sleep again because that's
On
going to waste
average,
10 of those years.
on average, you've only got 10 more masses left.
10.
15 more All-Irelands.
Yeah.
5 more Wimbledons.
By the way,
3 more
shout
Olympics.
out to Kula, who just won the final yesterday.
Absolutely.
My daughter plays
Up the dubs.
She plays dubs and she plays for Kula.
Up the dubs.
They did mighty.
And she's from Cork.
Oh no, we live in
But
Dalkey.
she's from Cork.
Who's from Cork?
Well, it's your daughter not from Cork.
Sorry, it is awkward at home, yeah. No, it is awkward. She is technically from Cork, plays for Dubs. Sorry, I didn't get you right there.
Yeah, well,
A lot of people think I traipse up and down every day from Cork.
Yeah, you keep that little myth going. So anyway, what I wanted to ask you about was, it's related to your career, but it was Botox.
Oh.
So Norma, you're 48
I am.
and you know, very attractive woman.
Oh, stop it.
And
Stop it, Mario.
Very attractive woman, and your kind of elfin appearance.
Elfin.
And mischievous look in the face. You're very good at comedy because you're kind of furtive.
What does furtive mean?
It's sort of like you're always causing trouble with your eyes. You're kind of mischievous and furtive and thing. And so you're very good at comedy. And but you've decided, like, Botox is an interesting subject because you've decided I'm not going to get Botox. So why have you decided thus far not to do what it seems every other woman in Ireland is doing?
Yeah.
Would I be right in saying that?
Well, let's just say every other woman. There's a couple of antiques and dinosaurs like myself who haven't. But listen, absolutely. And to be fair, I probably would be doing it if it suited me. So to start with, you know those people who have a symmetrical face and they've no bad angle. Bitches, bastards. Well, to start with, I went in looking for face work. And to be fair, I was looking for a head transplant. And I was going, what can we do here? And I was actually asked, did you have a forceps delivery? And I'm going, I don't remember. And then they were going, did you have a little bit of Bell's palsy?
Okay.
Didn't know what the fuck that was. Did you have a stroke was the last one.
Jesus, Norma.
So it's not coming from a great place.
Yeah.
And then other ones, I was like, can we freeze this? Or how will we freeze that? What was I told when I asked for lip fillers? You don't have lips. I've nothing to work with. And then the Botox thing, it was like, well, do you really want to put a truckload of that into your forehead or do you just want to get a fringe?
Yeah.
So I went and got another fringe is growing out at the moment and I have a cow's lick. But you see, the fringe covers a multitude.
Yeah.
So my choices also are to do with, I love acting. I really love acting. And I love stand-up. I love everything. But I love filming. I want to go back into that. I'm doing bits and bobs of that. If someone told me tomorrow, you know, if you'd red hair, you'd get the Colleen parts. If you'd grey hair, you'd get the mammy parts, be great, or the granny parts. I'd go with that. I'm not really attached to, I think these beautiful teenagers and beautiful age 20 people, they're attached to their beauty. It's how they define themselves. And then they cling to it and cling to it and cling to it. They get the work done and then they look great for 5 years and then they start to look psychotic. But beauty was never my trophy. It was never my flag. So it was never my identity. So I'm lucky that way that I don't mind being quirky.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So you always, you're saying that you always felt that you were more of a character actor.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I like things to be moving and not still.
And that she had, this woman has a history. She's done something. She does things rather than just is this thing which stands in front of the screen.
There's a lot. And that's what they want for screen. They want a still face and people want to see still faces. People don't want to see moving faces, and that's fine. And that's why I'm gone back on the stage. They don't.
What do you mean?
If you're on the big screen, it's just too psychotic to look at like a frowned brow or furrowed brow or whatever you call it. It's all too much. So so it's easier for them to cast the static look. Look,
okay, but
I could get sour, but I'm not going to.
Well, hang on. But on the other hand, I mean, like.
The other option then is to go up for parts that are 10 years older than you, which I do a lot of. I've been doing that since the 30s.
Yeah.
So I'd say, oh, can I go up for that part? It's 45, or can I go up for that part? It's 60. And then you're a big ride. You know, you're flat. You know, flat of a 70-year-old.
But I've noticed that people who do all the ladies who do Botox, right?
Yeah.
It's now become like, sorry, I'm sounding a bit like an ingenue here, but it's now become normalized, right? To the extent, if you can just bear with me here, I'm sure you've been through this argument in your own mind, to the extent that I can meet women, see women, and I know that they've had a little bit of work done, and it looks great.
It looks great.
And I don't think that looks like work anymore.
No.
Because that is now the expected look.
Yes.
So even though one side of your brain has computed there is work there, you are also saying it is normal for everybody to have work. And I don't see her as a person who has done work. Yeah. Except she has. The point is, everybody has.
Yes.
So it is now,
that is
face looks have changed.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Completely.
So like, I have a relation who did it. She looks amazing.
Does she?
Yeah. And of course, she looks amazing because you can't really trace it.
Totally.
Although it's obvious that it's done.
All my friends and relatives who've had it done.
In other words, it's been done well rather than shit.
No, I won't say the relative who at Christmas Day, someone else did her face and one eyebrow was up here and the other one was down there. Like there was 2 inches in the difference. But she said, oh, look, just ignore me. There'll be no Christmas photos. It'll be all settled in a week or two. So there are botch jobs and whatever. But
is there any expectation, overt or covert, within the industry? Or is there any judgment of people in the industry who have work done? Surely you have an opinion on that.
Everyone would go, you're in the industry, you have to get work done. What I've noticed, it's the mammy friends at the school, it's the relatives and the blah, 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 way higher percentage than industry people. Yeah. Now, where it's massively high is if you're a TV presenter, where they're looking at your face.
Yes.
That's why I'd say I'd love to do radio, because I could throw my head around the place, turn up in a tracksuit, be grand.
Yes.
But
I get what you're saying about TV presenting.
If you're doing TV presenting, it's harsh, and you will lose your job if you don't freeze your face. And I do think they offer free face freezing in stations. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they offered it for free, or you were just encouraged to.
I doubt RTE would be paying. I mean, like,
with flip flops.
I don't think so.
No, maybe not.
No, I don't think so. But maybe you're right. Maybe in America it happens. Have you seen The Substance?
No.
Ah, interesting. Well, if we're talking about women and youth and performance and Hollywood and all that, well, that's a film worth seeing.
And to be fair, who really gives a sugar about people over 35? We've had our chance. Get on with it. Do what you want to your face. It's my teenage daughters as well, and I just hope they keep going as long as they can without expecting to inject stuff into their face and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, they're 14, 17, but people have started younger than 17, so I'd like them to get as far down the line as possible.
Do you not feel that when people, sorry, this is acting again, but do you not feel that when women, or men, but women, let's say, who inject a lot of Botox into their features or fillers, that it restricts them from emoting correctly? I mean, because the elasticity in their face is compromised.
It is, but the audience don't want to see them emoting. There's one actress out there, what if she was in La La Land, and I think she's the only one left with a moving face. Why can't I? Emma Stone, is it? Yeah. She's the only one who actually crinkles up her face and does a proper, I'm so sad. And I could watch her all day. Yeah.
See, I don't get what you're saying, because I think a normal face is attractive.
But why are they not getting the work? She's the only one getting work that crinkles her face.
So you're saying, because...
I could be wrong. People could be just genetically beautiful and might have had no work done. See, I don't want to sound like an old bitter cow who can't get a job, which is...
Our men are getting it done as well, aren't
they? Totally.
Yeah, all over the place.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
They are.
Totally. Yeah. That's because I was asking a woman who works in the industry, and did she say 40, 60%?
40 men?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm not saying no to it.
Mm.
I'm saying I haven't so far. But if I can find someone who will take me on with my Bell's palsy.
And the stroke.
So-
Stroke Botox.
Yeah. Or can
Look like you've had a stroke.
find my
You
lips.
could
and
do
not
your
call
own
them-
voiceover.
What
for
do you
this.
mean? Oh, I could.
Look like you've had a stroke.
Oh, yeah.
Look like you've Bell's palsy. Forceps delivery. Do you look absolutely,
Does your face look like a saggy testicle when you look down at your phone? It's called drop face, by the way. Have you heard of drop face?
No.
So say if you have your camera on, you look down at your phone, and it's just literally like
Okay.
saggy testicle coming off
Saggy
your
testicle.
because your skin drops off.
Maybe
your
that
face.
could be the name of the company. Saggy testicle. Saggy testicle Botox.
Suck up your testicle.
STB.
No, I don't.
STB. And one of the last things I want to talk to you about is, of course, your career in your profession.
Right.
You are a successful working actress. You've worked in lots of movies, TV, and you're very funny in all of them. And you've done a lot of stage as well. But one of the other things I read in the article in the Sunday Independent, and this was surprising and saddening as well, is you felt very sad about the film industry. And about trying out for roles and auditioning for roles. Explain to the audience, what are you talking about?
Just before I do, because I know you are an actor. I know you audition for roles. I know you got roles.
Yeah.
What was your step away? Just going, this isn't for me. I'm going to do something else. I can't take the rejection, or
No, not that at all. It was basically my step away was I can't wait by the phone.
I can't wait for the phone. Much better.
All right. So I have to. This was like when I was 28.
I have to take control of this if I want to love.
I just had too much energy.
Yeah.
And too much drive.
Yeah.
And I've always had a lot of drive.
Yeah.
And I just went, hold on. If I want anything remotely to happen for me, what I in my brain think could happen for me, I'm going to have to make it all happen myself.
Everything. You have to do everything yourself.
This is only something now I've seen that everybody's now saying. Yeah. I'm seeing all the actors in the world, whatever, George Clooney, all of them, they're coming on screen and they're going, you want to be an actor? You've got to make it happen yourself.
Totally.
Nobody's going to give you a job. Okay, if somebody will give you a job.
You were blessed to see that early.
You might get a job once every 3 years.
Yep.
But if you are not out making stuff yourself, and nowadays there's no excuse to not be.
And if you look at George Clooney, by golly, will he have a producer role on everything he does? He won't be out there going, oh, there's a fiver for turning up,
He
buddy.
also went through his own misery auditioning for things forever.
Totally,
right?
ups and downs.
And he was the most beautiful looking man as well. And
He is,
people
in
were
fairness.
just going, but my point is, he wasn't getting anything.
Yeah.
My point was, so so my point was, I didn't step away from anything, and I still haven't. My point was, I've just become so busy and happy doing, and I always saw myself as doing characters and acting. And I went, well, I'll write all of them to myself.
Write them all to yourself.
I play everybody I want to.
Genuinely.
I'm playing the women, I'm playing the men, I'm playing the animals in my own sketch.
Come here, Roy is in my stand-up, and I actually put on you doing Roy in order to learn how to do him, because I couldn't do it myself. I was like, what is it at the end of the day? All credit.
Absolutely, all that sort of stuff.
So for my situation was, I suppose, where
explain to the audience though what we're talking about.
Okay, so zigzag in my career was I was doing I always wanted to be an actor, but I couldn't get an equity card because you needed to have a job. Couldn't get a job because you needed an equity card. But I heard if you went to RADA, you got an equity card. So I applied to RADA in London, did a 3-year thingy there, degree or diploma, I don't know what it was, and came out with my equity card. And my biggest downfall was I had a great start. Went from award-winning plays, best actress in bass, lovely TV show, and then tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do with myself. And I sat and waited for the phone to ring for way too long. But then it kind of picked up again. And what I loved back in the day with auditions is you got into a room, whether you were right or wrong for the part, they saw your energy, they saw your madness. There was Marmite, there was some I didn't get because I'd go in and I'd have no filter. But I had a 30% success rate, I would say.
Enormous.
Yeah. Because they'd go, she's totally wrong for the mother, but she's a lunatic. Sure, she can be the neighbour or she can be the shopkeeper.
So they put you in.
They didn't write a part.
You get
they wrote a part for me, I think, in Holding called Norma.
Yeah.
Because I was up for 2 other parts in Graham Norton's thing. Then she got me in for 2 days to do a part called Norma. Like, I wasn't meant to be in it at all. Anyway, where I got disheartened in that interview not so long ago, especially during COVID, you no longer get into a room to interview. You send a tape in.
This is it.
And I can't get my madness into 90 seconds of me doing a scene, at the bank or wherever it's meant to be, talking to a taxi driver, whatever the scene they've given me. I know nothing about the whole show. I've no director telling me what to do. I'm winging it, guessing what to do, spending 2 days recording it, working on it, whatever, sending it in.
Into a vacuum.
Into the ether. Never know if it gets to anyone.
Thousands of these tapes are being received.
So, yeah. So when the audition comes in now, my eyes well up because I know it's a waste of my life.
Oh.
And that's fine because that's another bit of sourness. But I miss the days where you got into a room and sure, you got something out of it because you met a director.
Hello lads, how are you? I just warn you now, I have a 30% success rate, so get ready to be fucking bowled over.
I should say that at the start.
Say at the start of your films and videotape.
Yeah.
You should say, right, by the way, when I'm in person, I have a 30% hit rate.
Back in the 90s.
No, fly me over there, you bastards.
Fly me over.
Yeah. And so, do they do any tapes for
Otherwise,
theatre?
swipe me on Tinder. What?
Do they do tapes for theatre as well, or is theatre?
They do. They do.
They're not serious.
Yes, they do. Can you imagine doing a tape for Tinder for theatre? Oh, Jesus.
Tinder, the show.
Tinder and theatre.
Yeah.
No, they do. So it's gone to pot because COVID fricked everything up. So yeah. But that's fine. You have to, you manoeuvre your way around. You have your 5 milking cows so that when one drops off the cliff, you have another 4 on the go because it's expensive where I live and I've got teenagers and I have to, no matter what I do, I have to reach a certain income every year to keep the boat afloat. And that's the end of the day. No matter what job I do, it has to be something that earns money. And
your new show is called It's Wine O'Clock, and you've been going around everywhere and you've been filling the theatres. And is it going down well with people?
Loving it. It's I'm doing the Gaiety, the Opera House, the big one, Town Hall in Galway, and I've already filled.
This is great. These are great rooms.
Filled the Civic, nearly filled Mullingar, filled Cavan the other night in Rammer.
So you're actually increasing in terms of your capacities now because you started small.
I started small.
And they're getting bigger now.
And to be fair, this comedy show is a little bit like what Shirley did next because it's, someone getting out there, starting a new life. And I have filled all these spaces with the one-woman show, Shirley. So even though that was a play and an award-winning play, it was me for 2 hours on stage. So I'm not afraid of these big spaces.
No, of course not. Yeah.
And we did the Gaiety for 3 weeks.
And
we sold out.
You feel comfortable walking onto those spaces. Yeah.
So it's grand.
Except it's on your own and you're saying your own lines now.
Pure female comedy. Get the girls.
Isn't there so much liberation in that? The fact that you are in control of what you've written.
Completely. And I so admire you because you've been doing this forever and ever and ever. And other comedians, I'm half new to it. And I just love the interaction with the audience. The women they literally want to wet themselves. Literally.
What percentage of the audience are women?
Probably 2% men. Maybe 5% in some venues.
Right.
Not over 5%.
Joanne McNally would be very women dominated.
Yeah, this is girls' night out.
And the Dirtbirds.
I said to my sisters though, I was like, why are you leaving your fellas at home? And they're going, because we have to get a babysitter, are you mad? So there's a part of that as well. So
the fellas are the babysitters in this case.
Fellas are the babysitters. Yeah. But if you don't need a babysitter, bring them in along. There's plenty for them to learn.
Exactly, but the fellas will laugh like a drain at this stuff as well.
Oh my God, they're all coming up to me after. Yeah. When is it on next? And Jesus, I never knew that.
Exactly.
And come here, what were you saying about that again now? Where can I buy one of those?
Hilarious.
Yeah.
No. And fair play to Deirdre O'Kane. We should give her a mention as well as somebody who's been a trailblazer.
She is so kind
and it's so funny. It's funnier now than she ever was, and as funny, if not funnier now. And she's kind of hit a golden.
You can barely get a seat for that girl. She is just hot, hot, and she has had her ups and downs, as we mentioned a while ago. Yeah. But my God, is she on fire now, and she deserves every second or penny.
Yeah, she's. I suppose she's kind of like the Queen, really, isn't she?
She is the Queen, but she's young for a Queen. Like Queen, you'd be thinking older. She's a hot.
Oh, I know. And another one that deserves a bit of a shout out as well is Eleanor Tiernan.
Yes.
Who's
she's nuts.
Smashing.
So I did Bridget and Eamon with her. We were Bridget's friends, the two of us.
Smashing.
And Sharon Mannion. So myself, Eleanor, Laura O'Mahony from Cork. So the 4 of us were the friends of Bridget in and out, whichever neighbour was available on the day. It was literally like that. Yeah. And I have such respect for Laura O'Mahony, Sharon Mannion, Eleanor Tiernan. Like they are the real McCoys, those girls. And I'm just so...
Joanne is absolutely brilliant.
No, I mean, stop it, Joanne. So she's a different she's different now. She's a different kind of
Different
comedy.
gravy.
Yeah. She's no filter at all. I aspire to her on the
Absolutely
and I've no filter, but
filter.
she just wasn't even born with one. So I aspire to her on that front. I mean, she's reckless.
That's brilliant.
Adorable.
And Norma, you were, it's so sad, but you were the last, one of the last people to work with Jon Kenny.
Oh, I was. Jon Kenny from Unbelievables, if anyone doesn't know the legend, I only worked with him for the last, say, 2 years of his life on The Matchmaker after Mary McAvoy moved on, and we toured loads of places. I mean, you go out there with Jon Kenny and the seats just sell like that, gone.
Yeah.
And even after The Matchmaker, we did a night below in Kerry, down in Killarney in the Muskerry, and it was a night of improv. Mario, you would have loved it. I was trying out bits from my new show. He was doing old bits of comedy from his own little stories about when he'd hang out in the phone box waiting for a girl to ring, or when himself and his siblings would pee out the top window of the house out onto the galvanised roof and see who could pee the furthest when they were kids. Like, I was in bits. And when I grew up, obviously, thinking the Unbelievables were gods. And not that much younger than them, but still I aspire to that. And to be on stage with him a couple of weeks before he died, literally, I'm talking a handful of weeks before he died, with him mesmerising hundreds of people down in Kerry with, it was called the John B. Keane Night and other bits, whatever, I can't remember the title of the show. I am so blessed to have done that night with him because I miss him so much.
He's in top form.
Top form. Now, again, top form, but yes, he was after treatment. We're hoping he'd come back around. His immune must have been low after all the treatment.
But how wonderful that, if you like, towards the end, before he got, sadly taken away from us, he was still all guns blazing, performance-wise.
Not even performance-wise. So there's a fella coming in, he's operating the car park. There's another fella coming in, he's fixing a window. He's giving them 120%. I'd be saving my energy for the show if I'd half a lung left. Like, he's going, you're there, where are you from now? And blah, 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 blah. Now, the next time you're up, so interested. He didn't care, what would you say, it didn't matter if you were a beggar or a bishop. He was interested in people. And to be fair, you'd be a bit like that as well. You study the human nature, don't you?
I adore people. I adore people. And much to my chagrin, I mean, some people can leave you down, but I mean, I don't mind because I kind of love people anyway. So, my wife always accused me of that. What are you talking to that years ago? What are you talking to that fool for? That fucking aged. And I'm going, no, I think he's nice. Yeah. I'm a bit wide-eyed.
But then you have to learn to say no as well, do you?
You do. You have to learn.
Get Blanche to say no for you. She can be your no.
John, I did this thing in Kilfinnan, and they were putting the roof on the church. I've told this story before. And they said, so Mario, it'll be you and Jon Kenny and another comedian. And the comedian will be on first, John will be on second, and you're on third. And I went down and to the place, and I was in this room, which was next to the theatre. And through the wall, I could hear like 800 people in there, and all I could hear was... and then... and then... big crowd. Door opens. Hello, Mario. I'm Jon Kenny.
What was he doing?
Well, this guy, there was a lunatic. This is Jon Kennedy doing his lunatic behaviour act.
Honestly, what was he doing though?
Shouting and roaring at people.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing the house down. But then the man I met was like this gentle English scholar.
Yeah.
Hello, Mario. I'm Jon Kenny. Lovely to meet you. But he had just been an absolute savage joke.
Psychopath. Eat for breakfast. Because even The Matchmaker, which, it's got loads of characters. My God, he played one character, the jockey. Oh, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Yeah.
Actually,
and you had to follow on after him?
Yeah. No bother to me.
No bother to you, darling.
We a different flavour. But anyway, I remember we did a TV commercial together as well, and we played...
what were you two selling? Come on.
No, we were vegetables, or we were...
Lidl vegetables.
The Lidl vegetables.
I was the Lidl voice.
Ah, that's right. And he was ham, and I was a blah.
And he was turnip.
And I was a Waterford blah.
You were a Waterford blah.
It was one girl.
And I think I was cheese, but then they liked my cheese, and they took me on as the voice of Lidl for the last few years.
Exactly, well done.
Jesus and the Holy Donkey.
You didn't get the gig, but they gave you something else.
Totally. Yeah. There we go. Got in the room.
Norma, thank you so much for coming on. I've enjoyed so much talking to you. And
Thanks for having me.
Oh God, not at all. Sure, I did heal my hole with you. So
You did.
you
had to have me back, didn't you?
Now you're doing this. So I'll give it a good plug for this show. Wherever it's we'll find out where
You're
it
every
is.
theatre, Shames,
every theatre.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Just your local theatre, Clifton,
Brilliant.
Westport.
Brilliant. Norma, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you, Mario.
And my thanks to Norma Sheahan for telling me all those stories and being so open and frank about all her experiences. Thank you to Norma and continued success. See her on tour. It's Wine O'Clock, it's called, all around Ireland. My special thanks to deluxebathrooms.ie, the Love Your Bathroom sale. Get in there if you can and check it out at Dundalk Retail Park and Little Island in Cork. deluxebathrooms.ie. We'll see you, my fantastic listeners, at same time, same place next week. Take it easy.